I was talking with a coworker through the week associated with renaming all my underlying projects. It was part of a longer discussion, but I just mentioned that, the alleged comedian had made $30 million. He was spending $1,400 a week in order to suppress my stuff, and it was just about the right time to do this, to rebrand, as my coworker said. And last night I couldn't sleep. I've had problems sleeping recently, a variety of different reasons. And I thought what I need to do is release a comedy album called Tom Barbalet Was Noble Ape. And I started looking online for how you create a canned audience perhaps, in order to do this, and reflected on what comedic bits I would want to include in this piece. Part of my experience with this thing has related to how the alleged comedian has used Noble Ape, the name Noble Ape, to promote Catholic holidays. All Saints' Day is brought to you by Noble Ape is something that was part of his shtick at some time. And I found that actually, well, there are a series of things I found offensive through this process, but I found that one of the most offensive things, that something that I had worked so hard to do was now being used to promote something that I had some solid objections and concerns about. And I was powerless to do it. It's like you kind of thrust out, and, the whole experience has been very curious to me. I think other than my own suffering, my wife has probably suffered more than anyone through this whole thing. And part of the rebranding, to use my co-worker's term, is associated with allowing a certain degree of catharsis to wash over me. A great degree of sadness, a lot of work, a lot of academic publication, just a lot of work in nearly 20 years. But I have to move on. I have to take my energy and put it back into actually putting out apps and software and ideas and audio and all the other things that I do. So the comedy album, the notion that if the Catholic Church was a canned good, a number of people just wouldn't read the ingredients. The notion that now with 40% less child sodomy, low sodomy Catholic Church, this kind of stuff. These jokes will never be told in Tom Barbalet Was Noble Ape. And thankfully, I won't have to spend $300 on a canned audience. What an idea. It was funny, actually, putting elements of canned audience noise over some of my audio. I was trying that last night as I couldn't sleep, just to get a sense of what it would sound like presenting these ideas in a pseudo-auditorium. And I just thought, no, my time is vastly more scarce than would allow me to do something like this. It's just time I moved on.